and welcome back to another great day of fitness. We got TJ, we got Clara, we got some burpees and dumbbell deadlifts for you. We are ready to get into this warm-up. It's coming up next. Get set, get ready. Here we go. Athletes, your warm-up is here. We've got 10 seconds on the clock. Stand by. We have 10 seconds on the clock. We have 10 seconds on the clock. You just got to get the batteries in the right direction. That's the secret. We are going in 3, 2, 1. We are starting out with deadlifts. So we're gonna go ahead and pick our dumbbells up. We're gonna take our band and set it up for our banded good mornings. With this, we are going to focus on loading our posterior chain. So hips get pushed back. And then when you stand, I want you to think about engaging those glutes. This is gonna be a pretty simple warm up because we're gonna go back and forth between our deadlift movement and our burpee movement. We're gonna do one more rep each. We're gonna come out of that. And what we're gonna do is first, I just want you to lay down on the floor. There's no trick. I'm not gonna change this up. Just lay down on the floor for me. From this position, what I want you to do is push yourself up into a seal pose. Now I want you to get your toes under your feet and I want you to push your hips up to the ceiling into a down dog position. We're gonna go back down into our seal pose. I want you all the way down onto the floor. Go back into your seal pose. Up into your down dog, back down into your seal pose, all the way down on the floor. Now I want you to come to your hands and your knees for me, and we are gonna go into a cat-cow position. So for our cat position, it's that Halloween cat. So I want you to arch your back up towards the ceiling, chin on your chest, then drop your chest to the floor, looking up towards the ceiling, and then you're gonna go back into your cat position, and then back into your cow position. I don't really know why they call these cows because I've never seen a cow look like this, but still, cat cows. We got our cat cows. We're gonna go ahead and continue to oscillate through this. Now what we're gonna do is that we are going to move into our burpee. Claire's gonna have burpees over the dumbbell, but we're not gonna use those for the warm up. So I want you guys to go all the way down to the floor. And this is what we're gonna practice together because often we don't practice this enough. I want you to come up with your left foot. So step up out of that burpee with your left foot, and then stand. Now I want you to go down, hop back, come up with your right foot. I want you to do 2 more reps, one on your left, one on your right. And we're gonna practice coming up because stepping out of a burpee is a fantastic way to pace the movement so you can actually go faster than if you were jumping. We're gonna go back to our dumbbell, back to our band, and we're gonna go into our deadlift variation or our good morning variation. Now with our good morning variation, we got TJ putting this band around his neck and he's gonna hang on to it like it's his first day of 2nd grade and he's got his backpack on. Try to be a cool kid and do the 1 strap, but you always do 2 straps because that's what's cool, is good posture. And we're gonna continue to go through this, making sure that we're breathing out every time that we come up. And a correction that I'm gonna make on Clara is that I'm gonna have her turn and face TJ a little bit more so you guys can see. We're gonna go down and I want her to load her hips a little bit more in the bottom position. So drop your hips slightly right there and then stand. I want to make sure that we get leg drive and we're not turning this into an RDL of keeping those legs super straight. You have a little bit more leeway with dumbbells than you do with a barbell, but still, we want to keep in a good position to drive with those legs. Let's go ahead and relax. And then we are going to go back down into our down dog to seal pose transition. So I want you to give me 5 here. I'm not going to call it for you. So just alternate between the 2 positions, making sure that you're getting a nice big stretch when you bring those hips up towards the top. And then you are going to drop yourself back to the floor, looking up so that you can get a nice big stretch through there. After we're done with this, we are gonna go into our cat-cow position again. 5 transitions on that. Every time you hit your cat position, that is a rep. So arch up to the ceiling and then drop your chest down to the floor. And then after that, we will finish with our burpee step-ups and we will add the jump in on this one so that we can just practice how we're gonna be doing it in the workout. Now, if you feel efficient, for jumping out of the burpee, you're more than welcome to do that. We're not gonna tell you not to do it. However, if burpees are something that you struggle with, throw that step in because the step out of the burpee is always a legal version. We're gonna go into our jump overs, that burpee now. So go down to the floor. We're gonna step up with the outside leg. So the outside leg, and then we're gonna hop, and then we're gonna go down, step with the outside leg, and then we're gonna hop. We're gonna do 1 more. Actually, we're gonna do 2 more because we're gonna balance it out on each side. And then 1 more. And that is it. Now we use the outside leg there because we're working on keeping ourselves balanced. you're gonna have one leg that's tighter than the other. Everybody does. So make sure that when we're stepping up, if we're using the step up variation, we're stepping up on the outside away from that object or line that we're hopping over. The warm up is done. Your burpee tips are over. You should be well prepared because we got the workout coming up next and I need everything that you can possibly give me because we got 3 rounds, 2 sets, and it's gonna be fantastic. See you in a minute. The workout is coming up next. Athletes, your workout is here. We are starting in 10 seconds. We got 3 rounds with 2 sets. We got a 3-minute rest in between those sets. We are going in 2, 1, and go. So while we are going through this, we've got both athletes working on their 10 burpees over dumbbell or burpees over line. When we're going through this, we did talk about in our warm-up that you can step up out of the burpee if you like, or you can hop out of the burpee. Depending on how efficient you feel and how strong you feel with the burpee movement, you're gonna need to pick the variation that's gonna allow you to stay consistent here. When we get done with our burpees, what's gonna happen is that TJ is gonna be moving to our band and he's gonna be doing a banded deadlift. It's a little bit different than the good mornings that we did in the warm-up. You can do either version here, but what he's gonna do is he steps on the band, he's gonna build tension in the bottom so he has resistance against that band, and then he is going to stand with the band. This is gonna give you a similar stimulus to what Clara has with her dumbbells. Now, both athletes are racing without saying they're racing, so I'm gonna go ahead and call them out on it right now. But Clara's already done. And now TJ is gonna start jumping out of his burpees again. You gotta go. Clara, hang on to your lead, you gotta go. We have 3 rounds, and then we have 2 sets of these 3 rounds. So with this, Clara acted like she didn't know what was going on so that she gave TJ a little bit of lead. He's wheezing over here already, so you got him on the ropes, Clara. When we're going through, when we have our burpees over, there we go, our burpees over dumbbell, we wanna make sure that we're jumping over the dumbbells and we're not jumping around them. TJ is done. He is moving to his banded deadlifts, making sure that in the similar fashion to how we do our regular deadlifts with dumbbells or barbells, we wanna make sure we're loading the hips. So when we go, our hips and knees break at the same time and we load so that we can push the floor away as we come out of that deadlift. A lot of times there's a misconception that we treat the deadlift like a pull. We wanna think of it like a big leg press. We're hanging on with our upper body, locking everything in, and then we're gonna push that ground away with our feet. Now, TJ is on to his burpees. Claire, you can catch him. Come on, speed it up. You can do this. You can do this. If you can get to the dumbbells, when he's a couple reps in on the band, you got him. Keep moving. This is it. So after our 3rd round that's coming up, then we get to rest. And after we rest, then we're gonna go back into another set of 3 rounds of this workout. We got TJ onto his banded good mornings. We're making sure that those hands are coming down to mid-shin, so that's gonna be our full range of motion, and then standing tall at the top. We got Clara onto her dumbbells, touching one head of each dumbbell to the floor. After she's done with this, and after TJ's done with this, they are done for the time being. That's done with set number 1. Now, our rest time that we're gonna take here, you wanna make sure that you're smart about it. So don't just sit down. I want you to continue to move, because as we go through this, we have a total of 3 minutes of rest, and then we're gonna go again. So when we have 3 minutes of rest, it took us about 3 minutes to get done with this. Is it 2 or 3 minutes? It's 1 minute? It's definitely, oh, it's a 1. I'm sorry, I need to get new contacts. You have 1 minute of rest on this workout, so please just take all of that out. If you wanna take 3 minutes, you can, but we're going 1 minute. The 1 looks funny on the board. It looks like a 3 to me, but that looks like a board full of 3s. So we have our 1 minute of rest, and what's gonna be the best thing about this is that both of our athletes are starting at the same time. So we are gonna start them at 3:45 for both athletes. And this is it. Clara, you got it. You just don't accidentally stop this time, and victory is yours. So after you're done with this 1 minute of rest, this is just enough to get yourself reset and get your air back, and then we are going back into our 3 rounds here. We're making sure that when we go through this, that if we are on the line, we are not making contact with that line, and we are jumping over it. If you need to modify, you can step over. And then with our burpees, we have to jump over those dumbbells. If you need to modify and step over, you are more than welcome to. When we get done with our burpees, we go right back into those bent over rows, whether it's gonna be banded. And again, you're doing TJ's version, the banded good morning is an acceptable movement, but we always want to make sure that you check that band for signs of breakage or tearing, just because we never want to use a band in a workout that could potentially break on us. But safety is our #1 priority. Fun is our second, so safe fun is going to be our third priority. We got Clara back on her dumbbells now, and she is focused. I have a feeling that she can bait TJ into going too fast on these burpees. There we go. We've got both athletes onto our second round of 3 rounds here on our second set. This is the last one that we have after this. TJ is finding a new gear here. I don't know what happened. TJ's trying to get better at burpees, so he's given himself the goal of doing 5,000 burpees in a month. And so we've got the Josh Gunkler special muscle up plan coming out soon. It's 1 million muscle ups in a month. Guaranteed to get 1 by the end of the month. After that, we've got TJ back on his banded good mornings. Clara is finishing up her burpees over for dumbbells. And then both athletes will be on their last and final round. Workouts like this seem very simple. When you read them, you're like, hey, that's not gonna be that bad. And it's all about the intensity that you apply here. Now, TJ's going very fast on his burpees, but as you see, he has been able to maintain this intensity throughout. So I don't want you guys trying to keep up with TJ if you're trying to and you can't maintain that. Find your pace, make sure that you are keeping yourself breathing throughout. If you start going too fast, you'll have a tendency to hold your breath. And when you hold your breath, that makes you stop and have to rest excessively. We're looking for this workout to be one that we can continue moving on without taking excessive rest, unless it's that 1 minute, that was 3 minutes in between our round, or in between our sets, and of course at the very end. So TJ is on his final round. He is on that down slope and he is done after he finishes these banded deadlifts. And we got Clara finishing up her good mornings. Clara, you got it. Let's go, girl. Push for me. Come on. You notice that Clara is resting at the bottom of her burpee, which is a great place to rest at. If you guys find that you've overpaced your burpees, if you take 1 breath down at the bottom as a recovery breath, then get up, go into your next burpee. That's a very strategic place to rest at. We got Clara finishing up, making sure we're loading those hips and not just bending over, because we want to drive with our legs. Even when we're fatigued, we want to make sure that we're maintaining that perfect form. TJ, great job. Clara, wonderful job. Athletes, great job at home. If you guys are still going, as always, we want you to finish up all of your reps. If you were done, thank you so much for joining us today. We loved working out with you. Stick around. You got your cool down coming up next. Athletes, fantastic job on that workout. You guys destroyed it. I love the effort. Every day that you give us this effort is amazing. Now, if this is your first day giving me that effort, I gotta say thank you for joining us, because we loved having you and we hope to have you back. And right now, we've got a limited time offer that you can get a free month of Mayhem Athlete programming using the code ATHOME to start your fitness journey. Whether you're looking to be a little bit fitter each day so you can tackle the things that life throws your way, or make it all the way to the competition floor, Mayhem Athlete has your back. Mayhem Athlete is a group of like-minded people who are athletes, and you just did this workout, so you are officially an athlete as well, that will encourage you along the way to your goals, whatever those may be. So join us today. We would love to have you. Now, you just worked out super, super hard, and you gotta take care of your body because it just took care of you. You got your cool down listed here, so stick around, give me a couple extra minutes, and make sure you do this. And as always, be good, be kind, and join us again for another great day of fitness.